Alright guys, welcome back to a new series on the channel, and this is going to be current typing tier lists for Pokemon Go. So I'm just going to go over DPS for certain Pokemon, what's the best typing, what's the best Pokemon for that typing currently, and what alternatives you can use if you don't have the best Pokemon for that type. So, what we'll be going over is best normal without Mega, best Mega type, Mega Pokemon for the typing itself, and the best moveset, which will help you do maximum amount of damage in raids and more to the point PvP if you do that. I don't personally, so I can't really give a great opinion on PvP, but I do a lot of raids. So, let's start off with grass typing here. So, my MMFX logo is blocking one, so I am just going to remove that for this video. I will add it somewhere else. So, let's go over the best normal types here. So, we are going to miss out Megas. We'll go over them in another video. Another section of this video. So currently the best grass type Pokemon on here is Zarude. However, he is not a locked Pokemon, but if you didn't play during the movie, when it came out for the movie, you cannot actually get Zarude as a Pokemon yet until they come out in, I think it's Elite Raids is where it will come out. So, I am going to leave Zarude out of this because he is very limited and not a lot of people have him. I do have him, but I did play and get the event during the movie time, so I am going to just miss out on that. So, the best grass type that isn't Mega or Shadow is Kartana. However, Kartana is also a kind of limited Pokemon. It was out for a full week, however, it was limited to, I think it was the Northern Hemisphere, while Celesteela was limited to the Southern Hemisphere. So, the Northern Hemisphere did get a better Pokemon in the long run. Celesteela isn't that great. The best moveset for Kartana, if you're looking at grass types, is Razor Leaf and Leaf Blade. This Pokemon shreds against Pokemon it's super effective against. It's one of my favourite Pokemon. I have 6 quite high IV Kartanas, plus they are quite high on the CP. None of them are maxed out, but I do have enough XL candy to max one of them, I believe, which is really good. Then we look at Chestnut with the moveset of Vine Whip and Frenzy Plant. Not really done a lot with Chestnut. There was a comm day, I think, recently, but I didn't play that much that day. So I do have a few, but not many. Tapu Bulu is the third best, with the move Bullet Seed and Grass Knot. Then we're looking at Tangrowth, Venusaur, Sceptile. Now, Venusaur and Sceptile are weird ones because obviously they do have a Mega. So these for me are high up here. But then you've also got Leafeon, Roserade. Roserade's a great Pokemon. That's, if you look at my grass team without Venusaur and Sceptile, I do use Roserade quite a lot. So let's go over the Shadow Pokemon. So, if you were lucky enough to get a Tangela Shadow, Tangrowth is looking like your best attacker from the Shadow category with the move Vine Whip and Solar Wind. 16.32 on this scale isn't bad at all. When you look at Megas being 20 and 24, 16 is really not bad. However, Kartana does so much damage The only reason it's so far down on this list is because it's kind of a glass cannon. It gets wrecked by a fire type very easily. Then you've got Shadow Venusaur, Shadow Torterra. Very good sorry. Just go back. Very good Pokemon to have. Shadow Venusaur. I'm hoping one day they add Mega Evolution to Shadow Pokemon, because then it just changes the game entirely and adds a new meta. Because if you look at, say, Venusaur as a Mega, does 20.58. Now its normal does 13.92, so that is a 6-point increase from normal to Shadow. If you go from Shadow Venusaur, which is 16, adding a 6-point onto that, it's still less than Mega Sceptile, which is lower than here, but it's still massive. But then again, if you look at Sceptile, so Sceptile's normal is 14.12, looking at its moveset of Frenzy Plant and Bullet Seed. However, then you look at the Mega, it's 24. That's a 10-point increase. So if you had a Shadow Sceptile that maybe went up to 18, then add a 10-point, that's getting a +4 on there. It made things a lot different if Shadows could Mega. The only difference is Shadow Pokemon are supposed to have a lot of hatred, and you're supposed to have a relationship with your trainer to Mega. That is the law on it. You're supposed to have a really good bond with the trainer. So maybe they'll never bring Shadow Pokemon with Mega Evolution, but I hope they do one day. So after Tangrowth, you're looking at Venusaur, Torterra, Execute, Meganium. Most of the grass types here are actually the starter Pokemon. They're very much weighted that way. This is obviously because they're quite popular Pokemon. They are the first Pokemon you see on a trailer for a new game. They are ones you recognize more than, say, a Simisage or a Leavanny, that kind of thing. You mostly represent a Pokemon game with the starters. So if someone says Gold and Silver, you think Cyndaquil, you think Chikorita, you think Totodile. If someone says Red and Blue, you think Charizard. You do think of some of the legendaries, so like Mewtwo, etc., but you mostly think of starters, which is why they're so highly populated up here. However, it does leave all of us in a very good place when it looks at powering up these Pokemon. So Shadow Venusaur, there's been that many Bulbasaur events. You should have lots of candy for Bulbasaur, and even if you don't, they are that popular on the outside. It's just in a normal day, you'll be able to get the candy and the XL candy for this really easily to max out. Pokemon like Kartana come around every now and again, so having a Shadow Venusaur or just a few good Venusaurs is most likely better than having one Kartana that's maxed, because then you can have a full party's worth of this. So instead of having 13.2, you've got 13.92 times 6 compared to just 18. So let's go over the Megas in the grass typing. So we'll start off with the worst Mega, which is Mega Abomasnow with Razor Leaf and Energy Ball. It's worse than a Shadow Tangrowth and is just above a Kartana. That is just horrendous as a Mega type. It just doesn't do much. I've got one maxed only for candy. That's it. If I'm looking at using a Grass Mega for Giovanni fights, that kind of thing, I am always looking at Mega Venusaur. However, looking at this, I will most likely go for a Sceptile nowadays. I do have one that is maxed out, so maybe I'll be using that more often. So Mega Venusaur with Vine Whip and Frenzy Plant. 2058. It's not that bad of a Pokemon, Mega Venusaur. The only problem is it does have a lot of weaknesses. But then also it's got a lot of resistances, and it also has a double resist of grass, which is really good. Once again, the starter Pokemon have that many events located around them. They're so easy to power up. That's why I'd say going for a team of Venusaurs or Sceptiles is better than trying. You've got to spend a lot of money to get a good Kartana, like party. I did. I think I used at least 20 raid passes. That's a lot. Whereas you could have used 6, got a few bad ones, and moved on from there, or the 3 raid passes basically. So, for my opinion on Megas, obviously Megas Sceptile is top tier. 24.56. It has Leaf Blade, but Bullet Seed. Does it have Frenzy Plant yet? It does. Now that is very weird that Leaf Blade is higher. However, Leaf Blade is its signature move, so it doesn't surprise me that much. But obviously you can get Earthquake on it as well, giving you a good coverage. Like I said, for me, Sceptile obviously is the best Mega moving forward. It does the most damage. It's got one of the best types in the game, which is Dragon. That's just my opinion, by the way. I've always been a Dragon trainer type of guy, so. But in my opinion, I'd say go for a mix of 3 Venusaur and 3 Sceptiles. As a party, you don't have to go all out for, the top tier Pokemon. These Pokemon up here are obviously they are based on money value. So do a free raid for Katana, do a mega raid for Venusaur, mega raid for Sceptile, and then just do them on the 7-day mega raid again. So you can gain max level megas. It may take a little while, but if you did them without spending money, you can use all them other passes on other Pokemon that you might not have in your decks, or even just trying to get 3 Venusaurs and 3 Sceptiles for your parties. So that'd be my opinion on this, is to go for starter types in the grass category, because they are all the top tier. Top tier Megas, Sceptile, Venusaur. Top tier Shadows, Venusaur, Torterra, Meganium. Top tier normal grass types, Chestnut, Venusaur, Sceptile. All the starters are in the top tier. And that's where I'd go for grass types. Let's just go over Venusaur and Sceptile one last time, because their movesets, obviously, for Venusaur, you'll be looking at Frenzy Plant and Vine Whip. However, for your third move, Sludge Bomb would be really good. That way you do have some coverage, but also you're still doing stab with that. So having a third move, a Sludge Bomb, really effective. Especially going forward, you can do some better damage if something is resistant to grass, but neutral to poison. Mega Sceptile. Obviously, you're going to go for Bullet Seed at Leaf Blade, even though Fury Cutter and Frenzy Plant is the best moveset. Obviously, you can't have 2 quick attacks. So that's a weird one, really. I would go for Leaf Blade, Bullet Seed, and then either Dragon Claw or Earthquake. I'd go Dragon Claw just for stab as a third move. You've got a really good coverage there. Obviously, if you're versing a ground type, you've already got super effective with grass. Poison type, if you have Dragon Claw, you're going to do a little bit of damage. Obviously, this is all my opinion. Everyone can do whatever movesets they like. However, I'd say Bullet Seed, Leaf Blade, and then Dragon Claw for me. Just to give it stabs across the board. However, that is not good. Having a double weakness to ice. Not the greatest. Let's look at one more. And you know what? We'll make it Tangrowth because it has a good shadow. Now, Tangrowth does have a lot of different moves. Obviously, it is just a grass typing. So, looking at the moveset here, you are looking at Vine Whip and Solar Beam as its best moveset. However, for its second move, I wouldn't go Sludge Bomb. I would go Rock Slide. Without stab, Sludge Bomb might be a bit ineffective, whereas Rock Slide you can do a lot more damage, especially to like bug types, flying types, all the weaknesses basically of this. Flying, fire, bug, ice are all weak to rock, so I'd say going with Rock Slide would be a really good option here. So yeah, what I'll do is, right where I have the Chrome, it won't show anything now. I've put all my 3 best options in each one. So we'll do Mega, Shadow, Normal. Just so everyone has an alternative to the best Pokemon on the game. So thank you all for watching. I hope you're going to enjoy this series. I'm going to enjoy making them. So please leave a comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll speak to you all in the next one.